University of Maryland and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office you don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6. I'm Scott Lynn. President Trump giving his latest assessment of what he feels is an imminent deal with Iran at a White House cabinet meeting.
The president said it's a conflict, not a war, and it's one where America holds the options.
They're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't.
With Secretary of War Pete Hegseth sitting to his left, President Trump said the military is ready to re-engage, but he still feels a deal is close.
They are starting to give us the things that they have to give us. And if they do, that's great. And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish them off.
There are some in Congress, Republicans among them, who say reported details of Iran giving up uranium in exchange for sanctions relief too closely resembles the prior Iran deal. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
An arrest in first-degree murder charges for 41-year-old Terrence Williams in Silver Spring. He was wanted in connection with the May 14th fatal shooting of 41-year-old Quentin Davis, a man he knew. This occurred in the parking lot of the Bethesda North Marriott Hotel and Conference Center. Sheriffs from 17 of Maryland's 24 counties have filed a federal lawsuit just a day after the passage of the Community Trust Act that prevents communication between local law enforcement and ICE.
We have people who are committing crimes in our community who don't deserve to be here, who have either overstayed a visa or entered our country illegally, and we can't report that to a federal partner. And a federal partner is telling us they pose a threat to public safety or national security if we let them out.
Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylor also lamenting the end of the 287G program that allowed immigration enforcement only inside the jail with accused criminals and not on the street, telling Fox 45 his community will be less safe.
That's why me and most of the sheriffs in Maryland stand together today and announced this lawsuit.
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
A May 17th Fairfax County crash that initially took the lives of 2 adults has now taken a third life. A 2-year-old who was unrestrained in the back seat of the car has died. The high-speed crash occurred on Route 123 over I-66. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis.
The car traveled up the exit ramp, the express exit ramp, and entered onto 123. It struck the median and then came to rest when it collided very violently with the bridge wall on the other side of the roadway.
The adults were also without a seatbelt, while an 8-year-old was improperly buckled in the back and was sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. New research says the number of low-income households potentially facing hunger is on the rise in the U.S.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says it's found what it calls a remarkable increase in food insecurity. Its newest survey of consumer expectations says from October of last year to February of this year, 10% of households said they struggled to obtain enough food for their home, and some people reported missing meals. That's up from 4% in 2020. Among non-white households, roughly 19% reported not having enough food. Back in 2020, that number was just 4.5%. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Checking your money, the Dow finished up 182. The NASDAQ was up 18. Traffic and weather next. Then Mark Levin on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
The next time you're at the checkout register, look for the balloon, because a donation to Children's Miracle Network has the power to change lives. Children's Miracle Network supports 170 children's hospitals across the United States and Canada. These nonprofit hospitals provide care for all kids, from routine checkups to life-changing treatments. So look for the balloon and make a big change for a kid near you. Learn more at cmn.org.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record. and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
At 6:05, here's Michelle Murray with the latest from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
A couple of road closures in Virginia due to accident activity. In Woodbridge, westbound Prince William Parkway is closed between Summerland Drive and 95 due to an accident. Traffic is jammed from Botts Avenue. And in Sterling, eastbound Oaks Boulevard is closed between Virginia 28 and Atlantic Boulevard. That also due to crash activity. Now, the earlier accident on 95 northbound before Quantico clear, but you will still find delays from Garrison to Lacquia. Southbound side heavy from Newington to Woodbridge and from Dumfries in towards Quantico. And the earlier accident in the local lanes of 95 southbound in Falmouth at Warrenton Road now clear. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's a WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Some rain and some storms remain possible into tonight. There could be a couple stronger storms, especially south of the DMV, but a couple of strong storms are possible into the evening hours across the region. Gusty winds the main concern, eventual low down to 64 degrees. Partly to mostly sunny weather unfolding Thursday, less humid with north breezes, high 79. Sunshine, beautiful Friday, lows mid-50s, afternoon high 78. I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau from the Weather Channel on WMAL.
82 at Reagan National. I'm Scott Lynn on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin. Deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Holy fucking back it up. Ah.
Mark Levin here. Our number, hello. 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. We've got tons to do. We've got to jump into the DNA pool. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. We're going to talk about what the president said in Iran. We're going to talk about many other things, but I want to congratulate the terror lobby. You know, they always talk about the Israel lobby. Let's talk about the terror lobby, the Arabs and the Islamists. They're very active. And they're electing people to Congress in the Democrat Party. Not one in the Republican Party.
Why isn't that posted?
Not one. But the Democrat Party is flooded with them. With Marxists, Islamists, Marxists and Islamists. Oh, yeah. This Democrat from Maryland, his name's Van Hollen. He is a translucent American, AKA, he's whiter than white. He's almost like, a see-through. He's a translucent American. And he's the greatest friend the Islamists have in Congress. Bernie Sanders, the red Stalinist, Tlaib, Hamasian, in my opinion, and so forth and so on. But this guy in Maryland, Chris Van Hollen, praised by CARE, utterly trashing the state of Israel constantly, never says a negative word about the Islamists, Qatar, nothing. Comes to the defense of Iran. Yeah, that's what the Democrat Party, and this guy in particular, does when they attack Trump, our commander-in-chief, trying to defeat the regime in Iran. Not even nuclear missiles get in his way. As this big op-ed in the New York Slimes. It's time to break with Israel. It's time to defund Israel. It's time to do this with Israel.
And roll.
Israel.
Doesn't run.
Solution. What a jackass. And the Democrats are goose-stepping right behind him in the Senate because they want him to be the next majority leader. Once Schumer leaves, Schumer won't leave until he has to leave. Van Hollen. Chris Van Hollen is his name. Most of you never heard of him for good reason. But he might as well walk on the Senate floor with one of those Palestinian, what do they call them, Mr. Producer? Those scarves. Kifa, that's it. You'd be very good on one of these game shows. Kifa. Not a kippah, Kifa. He's really into it, this guy. You'd be very good on one of these games. Just a horrendous op-ed. And then they come out of the woodwork, these Democrats, like cockroaches. I agree with Chris. Oh, Chris wrote a great piece. Oh, Chris, you're just so great. As they goose-step behind him. That's right, I said it. The Democrat Party. Party of slavery, the party of Islamism, never the party of Americanism. Never, ever. Never. Party of Mandami and Tlaib and Omar and Hamaway. Who? Adam Hamaway. Hamaway. He's a plastic surgeon. He served in the military. Ours. He's a good guy. Just because he traveled with the blind sheik, just because he was an interpreter with the blind sheik, just because he worked with the Benevolence International Foundation, later shuttered as an Al-Qaeda front group. That's the new news today. He's a good guy. And here's the piece in the Jewish Insider. Adam Hamawazi. This guy is in line to be the Democrat representative from New Jersey. Now, when I was growing up in Philadelphia, New Jersey was a very ethnic state, mostly Italians and Irish, I'm being honest. And then you had a number of Hispanics coming in, particularly in South Jersey, because very agriculture-oriented. And now all of a sudden, you got these heavy-duty pockets of Islamists. Patterson, New Jersey, claims to be the Palestinian city in the United States. They fly the Palestinian flag. They're naming streets after Palestinians. Oh, they're having a good old time.
Either way, let's get through this freaking place.
Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, I need a beer to smoke.
Popping up cities in Texas. Starting to pop up in cities in Florida. Ooh.
Okay, this should be the elevator.
Bet you the governor there is trying to do something about it. The same in Texas.
Remember what to do here.
But in these Democrat states, they embrace them because they view them as Democrat votes. Who cares? Who cares if they want to devour our society? Who cares if they live in segregated communities? Who cares if Sharia law is their law? Who cares? They're going to vote Democrat. In fact, we're going to have a number of them run for Democrat positions as our candidates. power, baby. That's all that matters. Adam Hamways. Hamaways. Have you heard anybody talk?
Hey, Matt, are you listening, Matt? Are you listening, Matt?
Bilky.
Hey, Matt.
You, Bilky.
Hey, Matt, what are you leaving for? I let this fucker up and he fucking leaves. Hey, Matt, a certain person isn't too happy right now, Matt. Our little friend over in England is not very happy.
Press conference, which Abdul Rahman, the blind sheep, denied any role in the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, and Hamway's testimony on the sheik's behalf at his 1995 trial. Hello.
I remember 1993 very, 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 very well. Watched the whole fucking thing.
Convicted of plotting to carry out a campaign of terrorist attacks in New York City. But just 1 year before, Hamway took the witness stand to describe his travels with Abdurrahman, and now congressional candidate made a different journey with another party entangled in terrorist conspiracies to Bosnia. Ooh. What a place to vacation. Have you ever been to Bosnia, Mr. Producer? Well, you might not come back. To Bosnia, where the group subsequently shut down for providing, quote, logistical support, unquote, to Al-Qaeda. Oh, let me get this straight. He took a journey to Bosnia, where the group subsequently shut down for providing logistical support to Al-Qaeda. I'm sure Bernie Sanders will support him. I'm sure Chris Van Hollen will support him. I'm sure King Jeffries will support him. In a 1996 interview with the Newark Star Ledger, according to a copy Jewish Insider recovered through an archive of print publications, Hamway described volunteering in Bosnia during the summer of 1994 with the Chicago.
You got 14 days. You can change your name 3 times in 14 days. You can change your picture at will. Right? There's no limit how many times you can change your picture on that. And it's not going to fool me because that's the only wrench you have. All right? And there's not very many wrenches in my chat. And nobody really uses their wrenches here. You know, Chinch has a wrench. Tom has a wrench. Rocky has a wrench. I think I put wrench back on Gotti. A couple other people have a wrench, but you hardly see them here. Doug has a wrench. So, you know, I'm really the only wrench here. It's, you know, I figured you were a spy a long time ago, Matt Galligan. You know? And besides that, I like monster trucks. Anybody who's into monster trucks are good people. Usually. Fucking rednecks. Yeah. So, and, you know, I don't even want to fucking bring it up. You know, I want to just ignore the dumb fucker, but he ain't going to go away. He's going to keep on making accounts, right? I've banned many of them so far. My ban list is starting to climb. And he's making himself look like a fool. Not only is he calling people in my village, he's doing it to other people. And I don't understand why Google and YouTube does. I mean, because he's using Google and he's getting doxing information from other people. And he's using this platform to harass people. Calling people he doesn't even know. And the cops really can't do anything about it other than him calling there and harassing them. All right. And they have more authority, more power, than I do. But the fact of the matter is they know who he is now, and he's making terroristic threats. He's made terroristic threats to the judge in my village. He's been doing it. And he thinks by doing what he's doing, he's going to accomplish something. I don't care if I go down president, he says. So don't think I'm not communicating with the cops over this, Alpesh, because I am communicating with them. Think of me as Clint Eastwood as Joe Kidd, and you're after the judge. Guess what's going to happen? I personally talked to Officer Daggett today about it. Because this fucking idiot's calling Stan Young and they're doing his fucking shit. So, it goes both ways. You're saying people are being racist toward you. You're being harassed. So obviously you want them people to leave you alone, Alpesh. But you can't keep trolling them. You can't be still, you block everybody. Today you did it. All right. Come down to you fuckers are posting in you got us all fucking banned. Every handle I've come in there with, you've banned it. Every handle so far, I've come into your chat, and then you ban me from your panel again. And then you want to sit there and play. Keep fucking with people, Alpesh. Pretty soon, you're not going to be able to stream. That's my prediction.
Bin Laden and Arnott together, and organizational chart of Al Qaeda, and going and on and on.
Cheers.
Admission by details regarding training.
You're welcome to come up here, Alpesh.
Operations in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Sudan. Oh, Pakistan, aren't they?
Links right there.
Oh, yes, with Iran. According to Marco Attila Hore, a political science professor and historian.
Come on up so I can call you Packy.
School of Science and Technology. The early 1990s saw a global mobilization of Muslims to aid their co-religionists in the Balkans. Facing a Serbian onslaught, the embattled Bosnian government accepted this support, even though the involvement of foreign Islamic militants would later cause frustration and embarrassment for authorities there. I want to go on. We'll take a little break. This is a Democrat candidate for the United States Congress and in New Jersey. New Jersey used to be known for tomatoes and peaches, at the vegetable and fruit stands. That's the way I remember it. Great delis, great bagels. Oh. Now New Jersey's getting known for Islamists with ties to terrorists.
I buy onion bagels. That's what I eat.
I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Folks, if you're turning 65 or you're older, then I know you're like me and getting bombarded with Medicare spam. It's annoying and confusing. Mailers, robocalls, and ads targeted to you everywhere you watch and listen, and they all claim different things. What we need going through this process is real, honest help from someone who's knowledgeable. That's why you need to call Chapter. My friends at Chapter cut through all the confusion.
Melissa Kerrigan. Geez, I wonder who that is.
Your life less stressful, starting with a Medicare plan that actually fits all.
That's the name Rum was using in that fucking video they took of
They
him.
look nationwide for your best plan. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Medicare help. That's pound 250. Say Medicare help.
Oh, Matt.
Talk through where you are and what
Terry B hates me, Matt.
A call with Chapter is free.
He fucking trolls me behind a block.
Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Medicare.
So I blocked him.
That's pound
I'm a spy account, so I don't even see him now.
Medicare help.
If he's still posting fucking Little Miss, I don't even see him.
In Prince George's County, you will find an
Not worth my time.
Southbound near the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, and in Beltsville, there is an accident on Route 1 just south of Powder Mill Road at Selman Road. In Sterling, there is an accident investigation activity taking place on Pennsylvania Avenue, northbound at Silver Hill Road, where the 3 left turn lanes are blocked. Traffic is slow from the Beltway. And on the southbound side at Silver Hill Road, the 2 left turn lanes remain blocked.
Terry B ain't man enough to talk to me one-on-one.
In Woodbridge, the westbound Prince William Parkway, still closed between Summerland Drive and 95 due to a crash. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's the WIL weather check.
I'm a way better fisherman than he is.
Chance of showers or thunderstorms early tonight, low of 65. Clouds to sunshine tomorrow, near 80.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shadow.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving
Yeah, I'm all coffee dough.
Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. True Vitality Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
True Vitality Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at True Vitality Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone check free. Call 703-637-1222. 703-637-1222. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 703-637-1222.
Yes, APAC, made up of American citizens, no Israelis, no foreign money. APAC, look at all the control they have in the Democrat Party. As the Democrats keep what? Promoting Islamists with terror talks. Not just Islam, with terror talks. They work with CARE. I know the administration does too. Yeah, that's an area that I have real problems with. But that's the way it is. But we don't nominate individuals like this. The federal evidence file in the case against the Benevolence International and ARNA described how the terror organization deployed a representative to the Balkans in late 1992 on a fact-finding mission for bin Laden, part of a plan to establish a base for operations in Europe against al-Qaeda's true enemy, the United States. The materials assert that senior al-Qaeda officials credited the Benevolence International with obtaining funds and weapons for the jihadist group, as well as with helping al-Qaeda secure arms for Bosnian militants. By the time Conway, the candidate Democrat in New Jersey, arrived, well, I'll finish this when we come back, but I'm going to finish. Folks, history is unfolding right before our eyes. The President of the United States has delivered an incredible, consequential first year, restoring strength at our borders, rebuilding American confidence, and putting this country back on a path of common sense and constitutional principles. I believe our system was never meant to rest on one leader. It depends on millions of informed, engaged citizens who stand for faith, family, and freedom. There's more work to be done, and that's where we come in. I want you to join AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Unlike other senior organizations, AMAC is built around the values we hold dear. Members receive trusted news, the outstanding AMAC magazine, money-saving discounts on travel and insurance, and a heck of a lot more. And get this, right now you can join for 5 years. 5 years for just $47. Go to amac.us/Levin. That's amac.us/LEVIN. And join the Association of Mature American Citizens today and be part of the solution.
WMALFM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 6:30. I'm Scott Lynn. President Trump is asserting that Iran's quote-unquote negotiating on fumes and insisting November's midterm elections will not make him rush into a deal to end the nearly 3-month-old conflict. Iranians, meanwhile, have begun to regain internet access after authorities there ended a months-long shutdown. Users say service is slow and spotty in some places, with apps like YouTube and Instagram heavily restricted, as they were before the cutoff began during nationwide protests in January. U.S. military contractors will need at least 3 years to replenish stockpiles of key weapons systems used in the Iran war. That, according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies. Traffic and weather are next.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus.
Excuse me.
10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus showcase.
I absolutely love it when people talk about me behind a block.
And digitally demonstrate.
I don't respond to them,
credentials to employers.
usually.
No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at UMGC.
And not everybody has me blocked.
Certified to operate in Virginia by Shaft.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents
Games people play.
worried something would break because
Oldest trick in the book. Go after somebody with a name they've never seen before.
Whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care and professionalism and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Not planning today can cost you tomorrow. Stop worrying and start planning with Trajan Wealth. Contact Trajan today at 202-750-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
If you are in need of a roof replacement before the summer rainstorms hit, well, honor, respect, and trust your home with Valor. Hey, it's Vince for Valor Home. And unfortunately, some unscrupulous home improvement companies are claiming to be Valor Home. But there's only one Valor I trust. Don't be fooled by the imposters online. Go directly to ValorHome.com and look for Valor's signature patriotic logo. Or call 833.
La-di-da.
Tell them Vince sent you.
833.
Imagine having complete clarity about your health, not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next.
At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life.
Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine, not algorithms, not generic reports.
But real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals.
Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics.
But what truly matters is what comes next.
We interpret the results,
Connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led, personalized plan you can act on with confidence.
because information alone doesn't change outcomes.
Insight does.
At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test.
It begins there.
Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for what you do.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
You give me hope.
Making sense of the news.
Nobody says it better than Mark Levin.
I'll go with what Mark Levin said, because nobody could say it better.
Call in now at 877-381-3811.
Okey-dokey. Finishing up this piece, the Jewish Insider. By the time this guy, Hamway, this is the guy that wants to be in Congress, by the time he arrived in Bosnia for this Al-Qaeda front group, the Syrian-born Arnaut had already been arrested in Croatia on suspicions of weapons smuggling, according to a 2002 handbook from the Austrian National Defense Academy, and then apparently managed to escape from prison and continued forming and supervising the training centers near Zenica. An attorney for Arnaut called this account of his client's activities unsupported. The area near Zenica was where this guy Hamway, again, the congressional candidate, Democrat, reported working in 1994. It was also where the Bosnian army had recently set up its El Mujahideen unit for foreign fighters report into the war zone, according to the European Court of Human Rights. This is a research article of the Jewish Insider. Among the organizations providing the unit with funds and assistance, the court found the Benevolence International Foundation. This group with links to Al-Qaeda. According to the testimony of FBI agent Robert Walker, Benevolence International was originally the creation of Saudi Sheikh Al-Abdul Yabadaba. Oh, our Saudi friends. Our Saudi friends who are so offended when people call them out. They can go to hell. They were involved in 9/11 and we still haven't gotten all the info. And since sanctioned Al-Qaeda financier, the group, Walker attested, operated in tandem with a terror group across multiple nations, providing it with logistical support. That's right. Benevolent International was used in the early 1990s by Osama bin Laden as a means to transfer money to bank accounts generally held by purported relief organizations in countries where Al-Qaeda members or associates were conducting operations, said the Walker affidavit, which cities multiple confidential informants reads. Arnaut was an administrator for Osama bin Laden who distributed funds at times on behalf of bin Laden. Arnaut incorporated the Benevolence International branch in the United States in 1992, served as its CEO. In 1994 the year Hamway volunteered with this group, its leadership included Mohammed Loy Bazid, an alleged Al-Qaeda co-founder who sought to secure weapons-grade uranium for the terrorist group. All right, stop. It goes on, and there's a lot more. Hamway is Hamaway. This is the guy who wants to be a Democrat representative in the United States Congress. The enemy is here, ladies and gentlemen. They are within. The organization CARE, a Hamas front group, has been organizing this since the 1990s. They're secreting themselves into our culture, into our media, into our politics, and now into our government. They'll be secreting themselves into our court system. This is how they're taking down Britain. This is how they're taking down Paris. It's how they're taking down the rest of Europe. And this is the playbook. Right here, right now. They use these left-wing parties, whether it's the Labor Party or the National Socialist Party, depending on where it is, and here the Democrat Party. Because you have thugs like Chris Van Hollen. You've got lifelong communists like Bernie Sanders and Jamie Raskin. You've got other operatives. Now you have Tlaib, AOC, the Democratic Socialists of America.
Ring.
They're all here.
Oh.
They wake up in the morning with energy, with motivation. They're revolutionaries.
Billy's being racist. Yeah.
Revolutionaries to take down the great country in
Wow.
the 250th anniversary.
Yeah, Billy's being racist. Yeah, Billy's being
That's why I
racist.
call this program The Voice of America.
Nothing. Give me some mutton.
The
Nothing.
Voice of America. I've got to fight off the woke right, REICH, filled with anti-Semites, neo-Nazis, neo-fascists, and I have to fight off and expose the Marxist Islamists. Now, ask yourselves how the Democrat Party tolerates a guy like Hamway, like Planter in Maine, like Yabba Dabba Doo in Michigan. New Jersey's already sending a radical kook congresswoman to the House of Representatives. This is serious stuff, America. Serious stuff. What has given the plastic surgeon such recent prominence has been his volunteer work in the Gaza Strip during Israel's war with Hamas, including at the European Hospital in Khan Yunis. The IDF struck the hospital repeatedly in 2025 to take out an underground Hamas command center that it said operated beneath the medical center. Multiple interviews in the far-left media, Hamaway has denied the existence of such a terrorist post and insisted to the Jacobin, that's a communist media operation, that the facility was a completely benign civilian hospital with no tunnels underneath. Well, then it's the only hospital with no tunnels underneath it in Gaza. The IDF has contradicted his account with footage of subterranean passages, including where it reported recovering the body of Hamas leader Sinwar. Hamas subsequently confirmed the killing. So Sinwar's just hanging out under the hospital. I mean, come on now. What are you, a warmonger? A neocon? What are you? Are you a Jew? An Israeli supporter? What are you? We can't trust you. No. We'll trust the enemy. The enemy. The blind sheep, I didn't know what he was going to do. I just with him, an interpreter. I just happened to be in Bosnia with this organization. We were trying to help people. You understand? And yeah. Just because it had Qatar ties, the Benevolent International, how would I know? I was just in Gaza. I was at the hospital. I didn't see any tunnels. I looked everywhere. I didn't see any tunnels. I'm just there saving lives and helping people. I'm a good Democrat. We'll post this as we post all the articles I use and collect, even the ones I don't use. Right, Mr. Producer? We'll post them all on marklevinshow.com, the mothership, where we keep all of our articles for you so you can read it yourself. The title is Leading New Jersey Democrat Congressional Candidate Adam Hamaway, Hamaway, volunteered with Al-Qaeda-tied group in Bosnia. So he's an interpreter for the Blind Sheik. He volunteered with this group, this Al-Qaeda front group. There he is in Gaza, giving eyewitness account. No tunnels under this hospital. And the Israelis show film. Oh, there's not only tunnels there. That's where we killed, Sinwar. Man, that's their interpretation. I mean, I got more on Mondani today. A lot of you people don't live in and around New York City. You know why I'm dealing with this. Because he's taken over. He's devouring the biggest city we have, the important financial center. He's conquering it. He's dissembling it. He's depopulating it with people he doesn't support and repopulating it with people he does support. New York City, for God's sakes. All these Republics who are out there saying, let them have New York City. Then we'll show everybody how badly it's run. Is that how you win a political battle? You give up the biggest city in the country? People don't want to fight. I don't mean with fists. They don't want to fight. They're intimidated. They're afraid. They just go on with their lives like nothing's going on. And so they give acquiescence to these people, to these Marxists and Islamists, many with terror ties. And so they take advantage of us. We don't seem to have the will to stand up to this. Our ruling class, and by that I don't mean the president, but I mean our ruling class, the rest of it, across the country, whether it's local, state, federal, whether it's cultural, they don't seem to have the stomach for this. And it's swirling around us. How much more evidence do we need? What the hell else do we need? Marching in our streets, burning our flag? I play clip after clip where they tell us they want to destroy this country. What else do we need? I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
A few accidents to watch out for in Prince George's County on Maryland 197, Laurel Bowie Road southbound near the BW Parkway. There was a crash, and in Bowie there was an accident on Maryland 197 just south of the John Hanson Highway. Also in Brandywine, watch out for the crash on Accokeek Road east of Danville Road, and in Beltsville still an accident on Route 1 just south of Powder Mill Road. In Suitland there's the accident investigation activity along the left side of the roadway, both north and southbound on Pennsylvania Avenue at Silver Hill Road, and in Woodbridge, a portion of the Prince William Parkway remains closed westbound between Summerland Drive and 95 due to an accident. Now from GarageRepair.com, here's the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Chance of challenging thunderstorms early tonight, low of 65. Clouds to sunshine tomorrow near.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life. And you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
I don't trust things that sound that easy.
All I said was that T-Mobile lets you keep your phone and they'll pay it off up to $800 when you switch.
But the switch is where they get you. Takes forever.
Oh, well, with T-Mobile, it only takes 15 minutes.
All of this is suspiciously convenient.
Or just conveniently convenient.
Visit T-Mobile.com to learn how you can switch in just 15 minutes. Plus, keep your phone and T-Mobile will pay it off up to $800 via virtual prepaid card.
Chris Plant here. Tired of dating online and want to meet real people face to face? Let the professional matchmakers at It's Just Lunch help. After a confidential interview, your personal matchmaker hand selects quality matches for you. They pre-screen every date and they'll book your reservations at the best spots in town. All you have to do is show up and be yourself. Let It's Just Lunch help you turn new beginnings into lasting connections. Call 202-466-4333 or visit itsjustlunchdc.com.
Is your patio, sidewalk, or driveway cracked or uneven? Have you tripped or fallen as a result? If you're worried about the liability of an uneven surface on your property, American Construction Specialties can quickly help. Don't pay the high cost to tear out and replace your sidewalk, patio, driveway, or pool deck. American Construction Specialties has an economic solution which can raise and stabilize your existing concrete at a fraction of the cost of full replacement. They're environmentally friendly structural foam. With structural foam lifting, there's no heavy equipment to cause damage to your property and no loud noises from jackhammering. Best of all, most repairs can be completed in just one day. Have your entire patio, sidewalk, or driveway safe and level again. No job is too big or small. Call American Construction Specialties now for your free estimate at 240-665-5665. That's 240-665-5665. Again, 240-665-5665. Licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, MHIC 140530.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you.
Making sense of the news.
See, I've been told from some people on Capitol Hill that Chris Van Hollen's wife is a radical. I'm just repeating what I've been told by a couple of damn good sources, too. She's a foreign policy analyst who previously worked for the U.S. State Department, specializing in the Eastern Mediterranean. Just looking at this. Yeah, she kind of hangs in the shadows, I guess. But that's what I'm told. Maybe Chris Van Hollen will write something nasty about me, and I can then pursue questioning of him about that. I mean, they attack everybody's family, don't they? Attack the Trump family. Yeah, they do, don't they? I'm not attacking anybody. I'm sure if she's a radical left-wing kook, she's very proud of it. Very proud of her husband and his alliance with CARE and other Islamist organizations. Why not? Used to work at the State Department. We all know everybody that worked at the State Department, certainly in prior administrations, are pro-American, aren't they, Mr. Producer? Oh, yeah. Very pro-American over there. You know, we talk a lot in this country about defending life. We debate it, we argue it, we vote on it. But the real question is this: what are we actually doing about defending life? There's a beautiful place, a loving place. It's called Sanctuary of Hope. It's not about slogans. It's about action. It's a refuge for young, often terrified, unwed mothers, teen girls, who feel like they have nowhere to turn. And instead of being pushed toward the abortion mill, Hagee Ministries, John Hagee, the pastor of all pastors, and his beautiful family, and our dearest friends. Hagee Ministries gives something else: hope, support, a future, and love. Hagee Ministries' Sanctuary of Hope helps to save two lives, the child and the young mother. That's what it means to truly stand for life. Not just words, but action, support, real, tangible help when it matters the most. If you're a person of faith, if you believe what you say you believe, then by God, this is your opportunity to step up and help out. Saving the next generation and giving them hope. Won't you be part of this? Go to jhm.org. That's John Hagee Ministries. jhm.org/Levin, Levin. Again, jhm.org/Levin. Or you can call right now, 855-694-9647. Please give your best gift. It's all tax deductible. It's all tax deductible. And please do it, not someday, not later, but let's do it now. Let's do it now. Yes, I've been a very big donor to Hagee Ministries, and I'm very proud of it, because I've been a donor to other organizations and causes and so forth, but I believe strongly what Pastor Hagee is doing here. That's jhm.org/Levin. Again, jhm.org/Levin. I call 855-694-9647. 855-694-9647. That's right. Jews and Christians standing shoulder to shoulder for life, to protect life, to promote life, and to defend our country. Liberty's Voice, my video podcast, really good one today. Hope you'll check it out. I'll give you a little taste of it. Cut one, go. We're dealing with a completely different Democrat Party right now that hates America, that's embracing Marxism, Islamism, the woke Reich, R-E-I-C-H, that we've talked about here. Many of them are thronging with the Democrat Party too. That doesn't mean some Republicans who've been defeated, who are hanging on till the end of their terms, aren't going to be angry, that they have to be dealt with. I get that. What I'm saying is what President Trump has done and is doing is not unique in history. What is incredibly unique is FDR, considered one of the most popular presidents in history and the Democrats' favorite president, more than Washington and Lincoln, because as I said, he was a socialist. He got blown out. Yes, because FDR tried a purge in 1938. And I'll be talking more about this on Life, Liberty, and Living probably on Saturday. Our second clip from today's Liberty's Voice video podcast, cut to go. The president had a massive win in Texas yesterday, and he's had massive wins throughout, hasn't he? In fact, his endorsement is like the gold standard. That's why candidates want it so desperately. At least in the Republican primary, it makes all the difference in the world. And the evidence is obvious. Has any other president tried this before? And some have. And for the Democrats out there, both of you, the fact is that FDR tried this, and he failed miserably. I could have sworn Trader Tucker Carlson declared a week or two ago that MAGA was dead. I could have sworn that the other day Megyn Kelly declared that MAGA has shrunk to nothing but supporters of Mark Levin. Do you see how out of touch these nitwits are? Do you see how out of touch they are? How they're trying to undermine the president, undermine conservatism in MAGA, undermine the midterm elections. They're out for blood. It's as if it's coming out of their eyes, Mr. The only influence they have is to dispirit a certain percentage of the people out there, but they have absolutely zero influence in the Republican Party. That's why the Democrat Party media is constantly promoting them and platforming them and using them to attack conservatives, using them to attack the President of the United States and MAGA. They're useful idiots. You've got little Ada Fuentes stuck in a prepubescent situation. I heard Jesse Waters use that phrase today. He must be a listener. Who uses prepubescent, Mr. He's a good guy, Jesse, too. Prepubescent. He's stuck. Mad at the world. Blames the Jews. Blames the Jews that he hasn't fully been able to achieve puberty. It's the fault of the Jews and Israel. I can't help it. That's in his DNA, which apparently is mixed blood, as I understand it. That's right. But he's going to vote Democrat, he said. We need to destroy the Republican Party. Trader Tucker Carlson says the same thing. Kelly, well, she's of two minds, neither of which are particularly together, head up to a high IQ, I might add. We'll be right back.
Making sense of the markets because generational wealth doesn't build itself. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 7. Good evening. I'm Scott Lynn. As talks continue between the U.S. and Iran, President Trump held a cabinet meeting today where he said the military option is still on the table.
He added he would not be comfortable with Iran exporting its highly enriched uranium to Russia or China.
I think we're doing very well. I think starting to give us the things that they have to give us.
The president reportedly told PBS News that Iran will not receive sanctions relief for giving up the highly enriched uranium. The final details toward an agreement between the United States and Iran are still being discussed, and tension across the region has certainly decreased. There's hope that a deal can be reached to avert a return to war that would address Iran's nuclear program and open the Strait of Hormuz. Regional officials say that implementation of an agreement is even more important than what is written in a possible deal.
Fox's Trey Yingst from Tel Aviv. Israel's military, meanwhile, launching new strikes on Iran's largest proxy, Hezbollah, in Lebanon. In custody, the suspect wanted in connection with the May 14th North Bethesda fatal shooting. 41-year-old Terrence Williams of Silver Spring is facing a first-degree murder charge in connection with the death of 41-year-old Quentin Davis. Davis was pronounced dead of an apparent gunshot wound in the parking lot of the Bethesda North Marriott Hotel and Conference Center. A new law passed by lawmakers in Deep Blue, Maryland, prohibits local law enforcement from communicating with ICE. Now, a majority of sheriffs across the state have filed a lawsuit to try and block the Community Trust Act.
Our legislature, in their usual fashion, put a bill through that is, in our opinion, unconstitutional. It's certainly pro-criminal, and it's anti-public safety.
Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gaylord tells Fox 45 the measure passed despite Governor Moore telling the Sheriff's Association.
He pointed out there's problems with this bill, and he had some issues, and he and the Attorney General are going to look at it and try to come up with some workarounds. But that's not the way this process is supposed to work. If it's a bad bill, he should have vetoed it.
Governor Moore did not sign the bill, but simply allowed it to go into effect. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Following a high-speed crash that initially took the lives of two adults on May 17th, a sadly prophetic statement from Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis.
We have now 2 fatalities. We're probably going to have 3.
The vehicle going at 116 miles per hour along Route 123 over I-66 killed the driver and a passenger in the front seat, and now a 2-year-old who was, like the adults, unrestrained by a seatbelt. Another 8-year-old in the car at the time, improperly restrained, was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, announcing today a sentence of 33 years in jail for a Canadian man who pleaded guilty to an extensive sextortion scheme. 40-year-old Ramanan Pathmanathan of Toronto targeted more than 145 victims online, some as young as 6 years old. Pathmanathan is also serving 12 years in Canada. The sentences will run consecutively. MPD investigating a double shooting that left a man and woman injured in Southeast. The incident occurred just before 2 p.m. this afternoon in the 1600 block of Savannah Street, not far from the Congress Heights Metro Station. The victims were taken for treatment. Traffic and weather are next.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
All right, listen up. The only gift that any dad wants on Father's Day is Goldbelly. Goldbelly ships the most iconic foods from the best restaurants across the country straight to his door for free. Let him kick back and chow down on award-winning barbecue from Texas, epic deep dish pizza from Chicago, or colossal pastrami sandwiches from New York. Make Dad feel like an absolute legend this Father's Day. And go to goldbelly.com to get 20% off your first order with promo code DAD. That's 20% off at goldbelly.com. Code DAD.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white-glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Starlight Children's Foundation brightens the lives of sick kids like my son Finn, who was born with congenital heart disease. Learn more about Starlight by visiting starlight.org today.
Coming up on 7:05, here's the latest from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
You will still find some slow traffic on the inner loop of the Beltway headed from the Dulles Toll Road towards River Road. And the outer loop is still heavy from Telegraph Road over to the Wilson Bridge and from Landerful Road headed towards the BW Parkway. Earlier accident on Maryland 197 southbound near the BW Parkway, though, has cleared. Still some delays on the Parkway northbound between now Savannah Dam 197. And in Bowie, there is still an accident on Maryland 197 just south of the John Hanson Highway. Earlier accidents in Woodbridge, westbound on the Prince William Parkway 95 cleared, but in Sterling, Noakes Boulevard is still shut down eastbound between 28 and Atlantic Boulevard due to the long-standing crash. Now from GarageDoorCare.com, here's a WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
A few stronger storms from the DMV southward into the evening hours, and then drier weather and eventually cooler weather towards the end of the week. Rest of the day, we'll see a few showers and storms remaining possible. Some of these could be strong with gusty winds, brief heavy rain, highs near 80. Tonight, some areas of rain and storms, lows in the mid-60s. Partly to mostly sunny north winds, bringing down some drier air Thursday, 79 the high. Sunny weather Friday, lows mid-50s, high 78. I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau from the Weather Channel on WMAL.
76 in Dumfries, 79 in Frederick, 78 at Reagan National. I'm Scott Lynn on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
Deep in the bowels of a hidden bunker, somewhere under the brick and steel of a nondescript building, we've once again made contact with our leader, Mark Levin.
Welcome back, America. I'm reading a little bit of the history of this guy, Chris Van Hollen, the senator from Maryland, who has such a hate-on for Israel and Jews, and such a love affair with Islamists and CARE and other such groups. He's 66, and basically he has spent his entire life as a staffer in politics and then a politician. He worked on Capitol Hill for senator. He became a delegate in the Maryland House. He became a state senator in the Maryland Senate. He became a congressman, and he became a congressman in a district that was once held by a very liberal Republican, Connie Morella. But the Speaker of the House, because Maryland is so politically one-sided, decided he was sick of having this one Republican, this Connie Morella, so he added 5 heavy Democrat districts to already a Democrat congressional district, which he was winning by the skin of her teeth on several occasions. So they added 5 heavy Democrat districts, mostly from African-American districts in Prince George's County. And Van Hollen ran against her in that district, and he won. So Van Hollen became a gerrymandered congressman. That's how he got his seat. It was handed to him. And he served there 14 years. Then he decided he wanted to be a senator. And so he became a senator. When Barbara Mikulski retired. He was born in Pakistan, was raised by a father who was a Foreign Service officer, and his mother, who worked at the CIA and the State Department, so that can go either way, radical left or conservative. It's obviously radical left. He went to all these Ivy League schools, got a law degree from Georgetown, immediately became a legislative assistant to a very liberal Republican, Matthias, for a couple of years. Then he was an assistant on the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, legislative assistant to Maryland Governor William Donald Schaefer, actually a pretty good guy, but he did that for 2 years. Then he runs for the Maryland General Assembly, and he serves there for it looks like 12 years. First in the House of Delegates for 4 years, then in the state Senate. And then he runs for this House seat after it was gerrymandered for him to take out the Republican. Now he's a senator. As a senator, he's been one of the loudest voices for the Islamists, for the Palestinian Authority. He's been one of the loudest voices against the state of Israel. I'm looking at this, going back years. But of course, the liberal Democrat Jews in Maryland, they don't care. Where's the Democrat? Vote Democrat, Democrat, vote Democrat. Because that's their religion. Just being honest. Like in New York and New Jersey, same damn thing. Same damn. They can only get rid of Netanyahu and get a liberal prime minister. They sound just like the Democrats that they are. Just like them. So this guy Van Hollen is a radical, an extreme radical on these issues. He was raised as a radical by his parents, just like Raskin. Raskin's father, Marcus Raskin, founded the Institute for Policy Studies, a communist organization, in my view, and many other people's view. It was on the wrong side of the Cold War. It was constantly undermining people like moderate Democrats and obviously Republicans and conservatives. And there he is, in a position of prominence, pushed up by the Democrat Party. Then there's Bernie Sanders, who literally went to a Stalinist kibbutz early in his life in Israel. Not just a communist kibbutz, a Stalinist kibbutz. Even the other communists were, oh, Bernie's in the Marxist, in the Stalinist kibbutz. So there's three of the leaders of the Democrat Party right there. And you see these positions that we have as a result of them. Bad dude. And a radical in every other respect, too, by the way. He defeated in that House race, Connie Morella, even though they loaded it up with Democrats, 51.74% to 47.52%. And since then, in these Senate races and in the House, and once they, you win that, you win it big. Then he, in the U.S. Senate primary, got 53% of the vote with another Democrat. Now he gets 65% of the vote as a senator. It's a dangerous man. And he wants to be the majority leader for the Senate. Democrats want Schumer, leaves if he ever leaves. Who knows? So that's who's pushing this agenda. Yeah. These are bad people. And now they're loading up their candidates with Islamists and Marxists. They don't even hide it anymore. Here's Mondami talking about stealing private property. Like a good Marxist. Not his private property in Uganda, mind you. No. His private property is not to be touched. Let's look at this. Mondami's plan to squash private landlords will be nothing but a disaster, a New York Post editorial. Zohran Mamdani is right about the lack of decent, affordable housing in this season, but he's worse than clueless about solutions. That's the takeaway from the housing plan he dropped yesterday. He blames Gotham's housing woes on greedy landlords. So his solution, so-called, is to hand as much ownership as possible to government and community groups. Hello? Try to find a single New York City Housing Authority tenant who likes having government as their landlord and waiting months or years for, say, an elevator to get fixed. Because government runs things so well, especially in New York City, you know. Especially there. If Mondami's plan is to build and reserve 400,000 quote-unquote affordable homes, 400,000 over the next decade, at a whopping cost of $22 billion, and we know that'll increase to 50, 100 billion, who knows. Money run by nonprofit groups of the city itself. Now, these nonprofit groups are usually communist-run groups, too, close to, the mayor. The mayor clearly knows that the NYCHA, the Housing Authority of New York City, is dysfunctional, but blames President Ronald Reagan for launching an era of funding cuts for public housing. Sorry, but Reagan shelled out $1.1 billion for day-to-day operation of public authorities in 1983. By 2023, Washington spent $5.1 billion, a five-fold spike far above inflation. Meanwhile, much of Mondami's plan is more of a jobs program. He wants all construction work here to pay combined wages and benefits of at least $40 an hour, and to expand project labor agreements, effectively union-dictated terms, for new developments. That sounds kind of costly, doesn't it, Rich? 400,000 properties, $40 an hour. So the city will get the fewest number of homes built for every dollar spent. He also vows to crack down on landlord violations, which is okay, except that the overwhelming number of serious violations are largely in rent-subsidized buildings, where rental incomes barely cover the cost. You see, that's the problem. The landlords can't keep up with the taxes and the upkeep because the rent amounts are frozen, even if you're millionaires and you've been there. Indeed, thousands of such buildings now face foreclosure. Thousands. With more and more landlords behind on their mortgages, and they're not allowed to increase the rent. Now, if that's not the stealing of private property, I don't know what is. The government tells you how much you can charge, and you can't even pay the taxes and the upkeep. Is that not, certainly indirectly, the stealing of private property? No wonder people want to get the hell out of there. I'm just being honest. The mayor's rent freeze will make it even worse. And any new owner, private, public, nonprofit, will face the same grim math: unaffordability. Indeed, thousands of such buildings now face foreclosure. Thousands, with more and more landlords behind on their mortgages. How does Mondami expect them to make repairs? All this is simply an excuse for expropriation. Quote, "We will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers," he says, "and will work to transfer ownership to responsible stewards." He's going to steal. They're going to make it impossible for landlords to pay their taxes and their upkeep, effectively confiscating the property and then giving it to community land trusts, nonprofits, even tenants themselves. Now, this is unconstitutional by every definition. Don't you love them when they say, we believe in the Constitution of the United States? No, they don't. They're stealing private property from people. They're making it impossible for them to upkeep the property, to raise rent, making it impossible. And then they say, well, you're not upkeeping it, so we're taking it. Now, Mondami's housing ideas chief, so-called, Sia Weaver, openly promotes imposing low rents and high taxes to squeeze the owners into foreclosure so the city can grab their properties. Well, there it is, America. There it is. And they want this for the whole country. They want it for the whole country. This is legalized theft, but after all, confiscating private property is the pillar of socialism and Marxism. Yet socialist theories about improving people's lives always run afoul of reality. The private sector will always supply and manage housing far better than the government, let alone hapless or corrupt community groups. Crushing the private sector won't magically make the public sector any less hapless. Mondami's plan steers the city into a deeper housing crisis. And the very tenants he says he'll help will suffer the most. The city is going to go into a deep depression. It will go broke. People will go broke. People who make money see that they're going to go broke. I bet the city is depopulating faster than we even know right now. A Democrat, a Marxist Islamist, a Bernie Sanders devotee. This is what you get. Keep talking about nationalizing healthcare. Can you imagine? They'll destroy our hospitals. They'll destroy our pharmaceutical companies. They'll destroy the medical profession. It will all collapse. These are ideologues. They're not rational. They're ideologues. They're imposing their ideology, even though it's failed everywhere it's tried. Doesn't matter. Taking over the biggest city in the country, and they plan to take over other cities, and they intend to take over the Democrat Party. And they are fundamentally doing it right now, step by step. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
I don't trust things that sound that easy.
All I said was that T-Mobile lets you keep your phone and they'll pay it off up to $800 when you switch.
But the switch is where they get you. Takes forever.
Oh, well, with T-Mobile, it only takes 15 minutes.
All of this is suspiciously convenient.
Or just conveniently convenient.
Visit T-Mobile.com to learn how you can switch in just 15 minutes. Plus, keep your phone and T-Mobile will pay it off up to $800 via virtual prepaid card.
One Night with Steiny.
One Night with Steiny. Shout out Full Send Nelk. I'll give you the breakdown. I want to tell everybody, obviously the Nelk fans know, yo, Steiny running it. I'm doing you a favor. So we'll see where it goes. Could be crazy. This might get wild. This is just about me being myself.
Cap or no cap?
That's probably cap. Gonna be chaotic. I can't guarantee anything. All I can guarantee is that you're gonna be entertained. I'm a professional. I'm here to interview and entertain you every week. One Night with Steiny. One Night with Steiny, baby. Let's go.
One Night with Steiny. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com that make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds. You can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Talk Radio.
Making sense of your world.
Talk Radio is where I get all of my information.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Here he is, Mondami, at a rally yesterday. Cut 13, go.
Through our new citywide campaign, Fix the City, we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. And for buildings that have suffered chronic neglect.
So here you have individuals who can't raise their rates. They know the buildings are deteriorating, having difficulty paying their property taxes. And now they're going to have to pay lawyer fees to defend the property that effectively they don't even control anymore. What do you think about this? It's all a ruse to steal private property. Happening right in the United States, in our biggest city, our biggest financial center, with the most valuable real estate in the country. Here's this punk, after a few months in office. He has unleashed the Islamists against the Jews. That's what he's done. He's seeking to destroy the grocery stores because here's what he knows. People need to eat. He wants to control that too. Then housing. We're going to steal the private property by squeezing the people who own the property. And not everybody who owns an apartment or a building, and have owned it for decades, is rich. But even if they are, they can't do anything about it. And so this is a incredible abuse of power. It is a police state. New York is becoming a police state, where if you are somebody who actually works for a living, whether you're a billionaire in the middle class, whatever you are, you're enemy. Because you demonstrate that commerce works. You demonstrate that there are people who want to work and you work hard for what you get. You're the enemy. Because you demonstrate that the capitalist system is effective. He's at war with the capitalist system. He's using ideology. He's got the most radical types around him. So he's pushing out the Jews. He wants it as uncomfortable as possible, bringing in the Islamists and illegal aliens. He's raising your property taxes considerably to destroy home ownership. Says he's going to build 400,000 units of whatever in 10 years, like he's going to get 2 terms and a half or 200, whatever. And they're going to be extraordinarily expensive because the minimum wage they're going to use is $40 an hour. Who's paying for that? Of course, we don't know. And the properties that exist, he's going to sick the lawyers on you for not upkeeping them. They're uninhabitable because he's made them uninhabitable, and then steal them from you. This guy is Castro, he is Stalin, he is Mao, with that stupid look on his face. That's what he is. Remember, Castro was 29, 30 years old when he led that communist revolution in Cuba. Remember, Mao never had a real job in his life. He was a teacher. Lenin never had a real job in his life. He was a so-called intellectual. And of course, Castro had been a lawyer for about 3 minutes. I'll be right back. When you hear about Israel in the news, it's easy to think of headlines, politics, or another conflict far away. But for families in Israel and Jews around the world, this is personal. Anti-Semitic attacks in the Holy Land and across the globe. Elderly Holocaust survivors who endured so much, again, fearing for their lives. And in moments like these, your voice matters because your voice can remind them they're not alone. The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is inviting you to leave a personal prayer or message of encouragement that will be delivered directly to someone in Israel who needs hope right now, right in the Holy Land. Not filtered through the media, not lost online, personally delivered. A simple prayer, a few heartfelt words. They can lift the spirit of someone facing fear, uncertainty, and isolation. This is more than support. This is standing with Israel and the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews when it matters most. Please go to levinforthefellowship.org to submit your prayer today. That's LEVIN for thefellowship.org. Please check it out.
UW Parkway northbound and Greenbelt traffic is slow from Nats and Goddard to 197. Now onto the Beltway in Maryland. No delays in Prince George's County or Montgomery County. In Virginia, the Beltway is clear, both on the inner loop and on the outer loop. Staying in Virginia on 395 northbound, it's very slow between 110 and the 14th Street Bridge. And 95 southbound in Lorton, traffic is jammed up between the Lorton exit and 123. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
News
Oh, what a delay.
105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Chance of showers and thunderstorms early tonight, low of 65. Clouds to sunshine tomorrow near.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life. And you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's Vince for Artists and Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artists and Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artists and Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artists and Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artists and Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. True Vitality Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
True Vitality Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at True Vitality Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 703-637-1222. 703-637-1222. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 703-637-1222.
Imagine having complete clarity about your health, not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next. At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life. Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine. Not algorithms, not generic reports, but real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals. Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics, but what truly matters is what comes next. We interpret the results, connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led personalized plan you can act on with confidence. Because information alone doesn't change outcomes. At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test. It begins there. Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news.
If you turn off your radio and open the window, you can probably hear him straight from the studio. Call Mark Levin at 877-381-3811.
Yellow. And yellow again. The gold story right now is about who's buying and how fast they're draining the market. This is very important. Who's buying and how fast they're draining the market. 2025, global gold demand prices hit dozens of new all-time highs, and they're doing the same this year, with central banks and institutions and serious investors moving out of paper and into physical metal, precious metals, gold and silver. And central banks have been buying at record levels, and Wall Street is pouring billions back into gold too. And in the U.S., demand for coins and bars and physically backed gold has surged. And the trajectory is north. It's going up. Meanwhile, mine supply grew just 1%. Just 1%. And you can't print gold. So it's a simple matter of economics. Demand is up, supply is down. And for retirees especially, it matters a lot. Diversification is the key to saving what you have earned. Stocks and bonds alone no longer provide the kind of protection they used to. And there's trouble ahead, I'm afraid, because of the debt. Now, that's why I work with Monetary Gold. They've helped over 50,000 clients. They have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating of a fantastic reputation. And they disclose every fee up front. They disclose every fee up front. To see how physical gold or silver could fit into your savings or retirement, I want you to get their free gold and silver guide. That's right. Many of you have, many of you haven't. The free gold and silver guide is yours just by asking. But they don't have your phone number. You have to call them. And now's the perfect time. They're there. Call 877-NOW-GOLD. Couldn't be simpler. 877-NOW-GOLD. Ask for the free gold and silver guide. Or go online at marklovesgold.com, marklovesgold.com, and request the free gold and silver guide. I urge you, I beseech you to learn about this. There's no pressure, just information. Call Monetary Gold today, 877-NOW-GOLD, or go to marklovesgold.com, marklovesgold.com. Performance varies. Always consult your financial and tax professional. But you don't have to do any of that to get the free guide. That's what I want you to do. Get that free gold and silver guide. People ask me about this all the time, and that guide really is incredibly useful. Incredibly useful. I hope you'll check it out. All right. More Mondami. Cut 14, go.
When everything from gas to food, construction prices are up, what do you expect a number like that to be by the end of this year?
I think we're going to keep seeing numbers like that increase across the country, given the economic conditions that Americans are living with. As you said, the war in Iran also is not just a moral affront or a political.
The war in Iran is blamed for everything now. The fact that these cities are out of control, their spending's out of control, their property taxes are out of control, sales taxes are out of control. The fact that These cities have been driving up costs. The Democrats have complete control of them. They're always looking for the shiny object, and the shiny object for them is Iran. Not the taxes on a gallon of gasoline, not the taxes on your property. Everything's taxed in these cities, everything. That's why some cities are more expensive than other cities, and some cities are way more expensive than other towns, having nothing to do with the Iran war. Affordability. I told you when he was mumbling that word a long time ago, that's a slogan, it's a bumper sticker. There's not a single place on earth where centralized government is affordable. If prices are forced down, then there's no availability. The shelves are empty. Cut 15, Mr. Producer, go.
At the beginning of NACH's inception, we're shown a vision of city government delivering dignity for the most working class of the city. And yet over the last few decades, ever since the Reagan cuts, we have seen public
so it's Ronald Reagan from the 1980s, you see? It's Reagan, it's the Iranian war, it's with this, it's that, it's capitalism, it's the oligarchy, it's billionaires. What a putz, an absolute putz. This crap may fly in a political science course, and not a very good one, at some school, Ed's University.
If you try to kiss a least
but it doesn't
weasel,
fly
it
in the
might
real
roll
world.
over and let you kiss its belly. As the
Because this guy
smallest
lives
member
in an
of the weasel
ideology.
family,
He doesn't live in the real world.
least weasel
He
is
walks
only
around
about
like
5
he's a
inches
zombie
long
with the
and
eyes
weighs less
popping out
than
of his
5
head.
ounces. If it was
Doesn't
raised by
he
humans
walks
and
around
already knows your scent,
like
it
he's
can
one of
become
these poltroons.
extremely clingy. It may climb onto your body
because
by
he is.
itself, beg you to pet it, and even make soft
Well, let's
whining
hear-
sounds like it's asking for attention.
Let's hear what a
These
real
weasels are naturally full of energy.
a real
Other than
governor
sleeping, they almost
is
never
like.
stop moving. They move
And how you create
incredibly
wealth
fast,
and how you
and they
attract
love running
more
right
people
next to
moving
people.
into your
So
state.
when you walk around one, you
How you
really
keep
have to watch
prices
your
down.
feet.
How you
Otherwise,
increase
you might
home ownership.
accidentally flatten
You
the
do
poor little
exactly
thing,
the
but
opposite.
don't let their cuteness
That this
fool you.
bastard is doing in New
Wild,
York City.
these weasels
Exactly
are
the
famous little
opposite.
killers. One weasel can hunt
If New York
thousands of
City had the
mice in a
capacity
year.
to elect a
That's because their
real
metabolism is more than twice
tax
as fast as
slasher,
other mammals
a
of the
real
same size.
private sector
If they go just half a
innovator,
day without food, they could starve
you'd
to
see
death.
great
So every
growth
day
in the
they have to
city,
eat up to
wealth
twice their own body
creation,
weight.
prosperity
If you try to kiss
spreading,
a least
new
weasel,
businesses, new home ownership, like you see in Florida, including in Florida cities. Here's America's Governor Ron DeSantis at a press conference today. Cut 12, go.
We are going to work with the legislature on to be on the ballot. We'll begin with an initial raising of the homestead limit to $250,000 for all Florida homesteaders, with then the legislature commanded to enact a schedule that will lead to the full elimination of the homestead limit. Now, why this is something that I think will be very strong, and I think something that will be meaningful, a $250,000 limit, that eliminates property tax for 60% of Florida homeowners. Once you put a schedule in, and this would be something that we'd work with the legislature on after the vote is taken in November if it's successful, when you raise to 500,000 limit, that's 92% of all Florida residents would be tax-free.
He's talking about tax-free, no property taxes, starting with the first 250,000, moving towards 500,000, tax-free. Property taxes. So you would have no income tax and up to 500,000. He wants to grow up beyond that. Up to 500,000 on your property taxes, no property tax. None. Now, when you look at New York City and you look at Florida, where are you going to live, Mr. Producer? No income taxes. You don't even have to file a tax return in Florida. And your property taxes slashed. I don't mean cut, I mean slashed. First 250,000, then up to 500,000. Covering 92% of all Floridians. That means many of the poor, lower middle class, the people Mondami claims to care about. So DeSantis is trying to do what actually works. Frees up your money, frees up your earnings. It creates jobs. It creates businesses, and entrepreneurs want to come there. It's a fantastic program. Mondami's view is caps, massive taxes, redistribution of wealth, centralized bureaucratic decision-making, and the government take over in bigger parts of the private sector. Now, that's not going to work any more than it works in North Korea or Cuba or not worked in Venezuela. You pick the country. Florida's becoming what Hong Kong used to be. A massively successful enterprise zone, if you will, which has been destroyed completely by communists. And of course, they take your liberty away too. When you steal somebody's property, like he's talking about, steal their buildings because they can't afford the upkeep because you've already stolen their income. That reminds me of communists in banana republics throughout Central and South America. I remember when Hugo Chavez, it was disgusting. Decades ago, when he took over Venezuela by a coup, he got elected, claiming again, like Castro, to be a Democrat, to help the people, much like Mondami. And then basically that was it. There was never really an election again, or elections, phony elections. But he would walk down the main street in Caracas, Venezuela. And he said to reporters, I remember this film like it was yesterday. And he said it in Spanish, but it had English interpretation. He pointed to these office buildings, pointed to that building, sort of to this building. He said, you see these buildings? Yeah. They now belong to us. They said, what do you mean? We're expropriating them. We're taking them. And they just took one after another. That's what Mondami's doing. He's creating a facade. Well, you know, they're run down. They can't keep them up. Well, you make them run down. And they're just going to steal them. He's doing the same thing. And in Florida, it doesn't even enter the mind of the governor to do something like that. The opposite enters his mind, which is these counties, state, we don't control real estate taxes. So we got to get these counties under control, including Republican counties that are out of control, completely out of control. And what we're going to do is start a $250,000 exclusion. No real estate tax for up to $250,000 on your home. That's pretty damn good, don't you think, Mr. Producer? Then we're going to get it to $500,000 because that covers 92% of our population. No property tax on up to $500,000 of your home. No state income tax. Well, how are you going to afford all these things? First of all, we're not going to do all things for you, but secondly, the things that a state is supposed to do are going to be done. But we have taxes through tourism, we have commercial taxes, we have all kinds of ways of getting money in here. How can it be that the state of Florida has 4 million more people than the state of New York? And their state budget is about 60% less than New York's budget. Did you know that, Mr. Producer? Did you know that, America? The state of Florida's budget is about 60% less than the budget of New York, and there's 4 million more people in Florida. And Florida has a lot of big cities. It's got a lot of cities, too. It's got a lot of diverse communities, too. That's right. It's crazy. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the new.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Chris Plant here. Tired of dating online and want to meet real people face to face? Let the professional matchmakers at It's Just Lunch help. After a confidential interview, your personal matchmaker hand selects quality matches for you. They pre-screen every date and they'll book your reservations at the best spots in town. All you have to do is show up and be yourself. Let It's Just Lunch help you turn new beginnings into lasting connections. Call 202-466-4333 or visit itsjustlunchdc.com.
Not planning today can cost you tomorrow. Stop worrying and start planning with Trajan Wealth. Contact Trajan today at 202-750-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement. Is your patio, sidewalk, or driveway cracked or uneven? Have you tripped or fallen as a result? If you're worried about the liability of an uneven surface on your property, American Construction Specialties can quickly help. Don't pay the high cost to tear out and replace your sidewalk, patio, driveway, or pool deck. American Construction Specialties has an economic solution which can raise and stabilize your existing concrete at a fraction of the cost of full replacement. They're environmentally friendly structural foam. With structural foam lifting, there's no heavy equipment to cause damage to your property and no loud noises from jackhammering. Best of all, most repairs can be completed in just one day. Have your entire patio, sidewalk, or driveway safe and level again. No job is too big or small. Call American Construction Specialties now for your free estimate at 240-665-5665. That's 240-665-5665. Again, 240-665-5665. Licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, MHIC 140530.
Donald Trump back in office, one of his biggest adversaries, top Democrat Dick Durbin of Chicago, is leading the charge to derail President Trump's agenda at every turn. And now Senator Durbin has a new scheme, a government takeover of your credit card. Right now, Americans have thousands of credit card options, all with equal strong security. But Durbin's plan could result in less security. That means more risk for your credit, your identity, and your financial future. Durbin's bill isn't about helping consumers. It's a giveaway to corporate megastores, which could shift costs onto you while putting your rewards and fraud protections in jeopardy. We've seen Durbin's failed policies before. His last big banking regulation backfired, leading to higher costs and fewer benefits for American families. Tell Republican senators, stop Durbin's government takeover of your credit card before it's too late. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. That's guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Making sense of your world. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Greatly appreciated.
Making sense of the news.
I want to tell you about Chapter, a new sponsor who I love. I'm already working with them. For me, for my wife, for my older brother. So if you're turning 65 or you're older, then I know you're like me. You're getting bombarded with Medicare spam, and you're going to get a ton of it in a few months, and you're going to drown with it, and people are going to be panicking. I want you to get in front of this like I am right now. I'm working with Chapter right now. It's annoying and confusing, these mailers and robocalls and ads targeted to you everywhere you watch and listen. They all claim different things. What we need going through this process is real honest help from someone who's knowledgeable and somebody who will check every single offering nationwide it'll be able to help you. That's why you need to call Chapter. They're the only ones that can do it. And my friends at Chapter cut through all the confusion and they simplify the process. They want to make this stage of your life less stressful, starting with a Medicare plan that actually fits your needs, your budget, your health issues, your prescriptions, the whole thing. You don't have to wait until the fall to educate yourself and for them to start working with you right now. All you have to do is dial pound 250. Hello, pound 250 and say the keyword Medicare help. It's the best call you're going to make. I trust me on this. Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Medicare help. They will talk you through the whole thing. And you will explain what you have, and they will let you know the best option that's available for you anywhere in the country. But don't wait. You know, this can get overwhelming as the months go on. A call with Chapter is free. Hello, free. And takes under 20 minutes to get started. Dial pound 250. That's pound 250. Say the keyword Medicare help. Again, pound 250. Say the keyword Medicare help, folks. It's the best thing you can do if you're 65 or older. I'm telling you right now. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, I have a big treat for you. A big treat. I'm going to be on the Hannity podcast. His podcast is a big deal. Hang out with Sean Hannity. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Hello, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Hannity and Levin. Now, we're like brothers. We're going to have a lot of fun with each other. We'll get into heavy issues and so forth. Knowing you in this audience as I do, I really think it's something you're going to want to listen to and watch. From Sean's Florida studio. Yes. We're both residents of Florida. So, mark it down. 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Hang out with Sean Hannity on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. It's a great video podcast. And don't forget my video podcast, which is out right now. You're going to learn a ton, and I know you're going to love it, too. Wow. Don't forget, Liberty's Voice. It's on Rumble and YouTube. Rumble and YouTube. Liberty's Voice. Check it out now. It's available right now. Lots going on here, Mr. Producer. A lot going on here. And a lot of good stuff going on here. So let's listen to DeSantis. Start from the top. I cut it off. Cut 12, go.
We are going to work with the legislature on to be on the ballot. We'll begin with an initial raising of the homestead limit to $250,000 for all Florida homesteaders. With them, the legislature commanded to enact a schedule that will lead to the full elimination of the homestead limit. Now, why this is something that I think will be very strong and I think something that will be meaningful, a $250,000 limit, that eliminates property tax for 60% of Florida homeowners. Once you put a schedule in, and this will be something that we'd work with the legislature on after the vote is taken in November if it's successful, when you raise to 500,000 limit, that's 92% of all Florida residents would be tax-free. I think this bottom-up approach is a better approach. You know, there have been some proposals where, you know, every homestead, they take 2/3 off every homestead or however they do it. And the problem with that, just to me, is, you know, even someone who owns a $200,000 house isn't going to have eliminated. They're still going to be paying property tax. Someone has a $200 million home, what, they're going to get this massive. I'd rather focus on folks who are new homeowners, young people, seniors on fixed income, you know, our middle-class folks. And so this will be really significant. Now, why do it that way? Well, one, you got to pass it. Two, it's a way to be able to make this a smooth transition.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you see the different mindset. One is one of freedom and property rights and opportunity, less government, and the other is dark and gray and is destructive.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shell.
It's Vince for Artists and Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artists and Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artists and Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artists and Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artists and Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
He says midterms won't affect his war strategy. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. President Trump says that Iran is miscalculating if it thinks it can wait him out on reaching a deal, and reiterated Iran wants one.
I don't think they have a choice.
Speaking to reporters during a cabinet meeting today, the president said he can outlast Iran as they keep negotiating the framework for a deal.
We're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll have to just finish the job. They're negotiating on fumes.
One big sticking point. President Trump says he is not comfortable with China or Russia taking so-called nuclear dust, aka enriched uranium, out of Iran. If it doesn't go to the U.S. or get destroyed in place, it has got to be taken by a different agency or a different country.
Fox's Peter Doocy at the White House. Meantime, President Trump dismissed a report that said Oman would join Iran to control the Strait of Hormuz and charge ships a toll to pass through it.
Oman will behave just like everybody else, and we'll have to blow them up. They understand that. They'll be fine.
And oil prices eased over hopes of negotiations will reopen the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. crude fell to mid-April prices, closing around $89.40 a barrel. And that helped boost all three major indexes to close at record high, the Dow at 56.44. A judge sentences Matthew Perry's former live-in assistant to more than 3 years in prison for supplying the ketamine that killed the Friends star in 2023. The judge handed down the sentence in Los Angeles today for Kenneth Iwamasa.
The 60-year-old was the first of the 5 people to reach a deal with prosecutors, pleading guilty in August of 2024 to 1 count of conspiracy. He also became the most important witness for the prosecution, which is why the jail time is significantly less than what he might have faced.
Fox's Michelle Polino. America's listening to Fox News.
Canadian sends to prison in U.S. and Canada. I'm Sharon Reardon from the Novak Motors News Desk. Good evening. U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, announcing a sentence of 33 years in prison for a Canadian man who pleaded guilty to an expansive sextortion scheme. 40-year-old Romanin Pathmonathan of Toronto targeted more than 145 victims online, some as young as 6. Pathmonathan is also serving 12 years in Canada, and the sentences will run consecutively. The first and only Apple store to unionize in 2024 at Towson Town Center is being shut down by Apple, and the International Association of Machinists is crying foul.
And in 2 years after that, brothers and sisters, Apple had record profits, and these workers are now getting pink slips.
Union Chief Hassan Solomon noting most Apple workers are offered transfers if the store closes, but that's not the case in Maryland. While Towson Apple employee Eric Brown explains he has a newborn at home.
Not knowing if I have a job, health insurance, or a steady paycheck by the time I'm set to return from paternity leave has caused a great deal of stress and anxiety.
Over 90 Apple employees are set to lose their jobs. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
And a visit to the school cafeteria lunch lady is going to cost your kids more this fall in Montgomery County.
School lunch prices will increase by 30 cents across the board to $2.85 for elementary, $3.10 for secondary students.
People are truly suffering with food insecurity in our county, and I just need people to understand that. But with the same token, food prices have gone up tremendously.
Board of Education President Grace Rivera Oven, this is the first price increase in 15 years, and it's needed because the county's been using federal pandemic funds that are about to run out to cover expenses. John Matthews on WMAL and WMAL.com.
WMAL News Time is 8:04. I'm Sharon Reardon, and now here's your WMAL traffic and weather from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On the Beltway, first on the Virginia side, you're good to go on the inner loop and on the outer loop. Into Maryland, no delays on the inner loop or on the outer loop in Prince George's County or in Montgomery County. Staying in Montgomery County on 270 between the Beltway and Frederick, lanes are clear on the northbound side and on the southbound side. Back into Prince George's County, if you're traveling between the two beltways, either on the VW Parkway or 95, no reports of any delays between DC and Baltimore. And Route 50 from the Beltway to the Bay Bridge, you're good to go on the eastbound side and on the westbound side. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Chance of showers and thunderstorms early tonight, low of 65. Clouds to sunshine tomorrow, near 80.
In the blink of an eye, a children's hospital can go from a place you've never heard of to the place your whole world depends on. Children's Miracle Network raises funds for 170 children's hospitals across the United States and Canada. These hospitals provide care for all kids, whether it's helping them recover from life-changing events or treating lifelong conditions. Visit cmn.org to see how Children's Miracle Network is making big change for all kids.
Are home repairs draining your wallet? We can help. Let Cinch Home Services give you the peace of mind you need. For nearly 50 years, millions have trusted our repair plans to keep their homes running. Get an affordable plan today and take the worry out of homeownership. Sign up now and save 30% on any plan. Appliance and system breakdowns are going to happen. Be prepared with a plan from Cinch Home Services and get 30% off today. Visit shopcinch.com/.
Why are you over here?
Terms apply.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more.
Why are you in my chat, Alpesh? You won't let me in your chat. You've banned everyone I've been in there with. I fooled you a couple of times. I thought I was being racist to you. You're fucking all afraid of me and shit. Why you know, part of a restraining order means you have to stay away from me. You realize that, right? Because they're not, you can't do anything. You're making threats to a judge. You're shooting yourself right in the foot. You're the idiot. Why are you even in my chat? Huh? How about you just stay away from me, Alpesh? Go do your fucking thing in your own chat. You're not welcomed here. You're an idiot.
How are you, my friend?
I'm not even talking about you.
My brother, the great one. Thank me. God bless us. How am I? What's going on?
Fucking loser.
First of all, we're going to do this podcast. Compliment you. So you did my podcast, and we're going to.
You're a loser, Alpesh. You really are a fucking loser.
To hang out with Sean Hannity on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere you watch your video.
You talk about karma. What comes around goes around. Trust me, it's coming your way, boy. It already has.
It was a blast. We're just joking around, cutting up.
Go ahead, call him again, you dumb fucker.
I wanted people to see another side of you that I know. And, people hear this great constitutional scholar, a guy that loves our framers and our founders and our Constitution and, the great philosophers that inspired these people. And all of this more than anyone else that I know, more than anyone, frankly, in the country, probably. And, and you describe a lot of this background and you go into it in great detail. And then we evolve and I tell a few funny stories about you. And we talk about our friend Rush and how much we miss him. And one funny story about you, me, and Rush having lunch. It was hilarious. Only because you were. Just was a great time. And then we went out to lunch together. We had a great day. It was fun. It's like the old days, because truth be told, we're just so busy and far apart that it rarely happens. And but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I think the viewers are going to love it.
I mean, it's not like we were really even doing a show. It was just like, you know, although I was trying to bring out of you what I know about you so others can know it about you.
Did
so
you
there was a method to my madness, but oh, definitely. I never fail, Mark, ever. I'm only kidding.
Now you sound like Rush.
But
yeah.
Mark Levin, the great one, F. Lee Levin and Sean Hannity are nothing but for me. And there's truth to that, actually.
There is truth to that.
Because he paved the way for all of us. We talk about that.
And we miss him deeply.
About him. Oh, my, Mark, I can't believe it's 5 years. I can't believe it.
Crazy.
And we talk about it on the podcast. And I said it then. I think you in your own way said it then. I don't know if you remember. I'll tell a story that we didn't talk about on the air now. And I remember David, his brother, who was just a sweetheart, called me just before Rush announced that he had advanced stage 4 lung cancer, which when you hear it, if you know anything about cancer, you know it's a death sentence. You just know. And David said, look, I was sworn to secrecy. I wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up. So, because I know you're going on right after my brother. And David's been my agent my entire career. Is your agent too? I mean, I don't think it's a secret. And he did it to help me. And I got on the phone with you. And we listened to that together. And we were heartbroken. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I was crying. I was upset. And it was so he was so stoic when he said it. I think one of the greatest things is when the president gave him the Medal of Freedom. Love that at the State of the Union. And that was just a hard. And I remember I looked up at the clock and it's 3:05. And I'm on right after he just announced this. And I'm going to like wipe my eyes clean. And, you know, what am I going to say? I didn't know what I was going to say, Mark. And then I kind of like took his lead because he said it so stoically, like he did everything. And I just said, I'm gonna follow that example. And what I said at the time of his passing, and nobody can ever replace this guy.
No.
You know, everyone says, oh, they're all a bunch of Rush Limbaugh wannabes. I remember being criticized by people saying, you're no Rush Limbaugh. I'm like, you're right. You got no argument for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, there's only one Babe Ruth. There's only one Lou Gehrig. You know, he was one of one. As my friend Patrick Bet David said, one of one. Nobody else like him. There's nobody else like you either. You know, and what you do. Well, you know, if you really want to be successful in our business, to me, you have to be your authentic self.
Well, I made Wigan go live, so I'm leaving because I'm going to go make dinner because I haven't eaten. I might be back later. Bye, Wigan. Have a nice stream.
No, never watched it. But I